you believe that you're lacking joy and pleasure in your day-to-day life, so you can't restrain yourself from grabbing a sweet treat. But if you know you believe you lack joy in your life, if you know the reason why you can't restrain yourself from grabbing candy, if you know it's because you lack joy and desire, pleasure in your day-to-day life, you fix that. You look for the problem, okay, you ask, how can I have a more consistent feeling of joy during the day without needing to eat a bunch of candy, without needing to, harass my neighbors? And then all of a sudden you're not fighting this ghost, this bad habit that just kind of appears and disappears and floats around. You found the core, you found the problem. Fix the problem and the bad habit is gone. Fix the lack of joy and contentment in your daily life through things like, I can list a bunch of ways to do it, but really through meditation. When you realize that, maybe don't do that. When you realize that all of your bad habits happen because you think about it, right? I'm sitting here and all of a sudden the thought, I want a cake, will appear. Or I want these mosquitoes to disappear. Oh, there goes one. It's the thought that makes you want the cake. The thought, I want cake, appears. It's not the thought that's the problem, I take it back. It's your engagement with it. So the thought, I want cake, pops up. And then all of a sudden, you need to respond to the thought. You say, no, we already had cake yesterday. Okay, I'll grab some cake. Or, oh my God, I'm freaking out, I can't eat more. All of those are responses to that original, uncontrollable thought, I want cake. Instead of responding to the thought, fighting with it, just ignore it. Oh, hey, buddy. Is he gonna knock over the tripod? No, okay. The dog looking for some scraps. I think he wants cake too. Yeah, just like my book, Just Ignore the Thought. It's free, I link it in the description. Just ignore the thoughts. The thought, I want cake, pops up, ignore it. Find out who has the thought. If that thought never appeared, would you be addicted to sweets? If the thought, I want cake, never popped up, would you be addicted? If I could snap my fingers and you would never think about cake again, what would happen to your addiction, your bad habit? It would disappear. If you never had another thought about, I don't know, what's another bad habit we all have? I guess procrastination. If the next time you have the thought, oh, I'm lazy, I want to procrastinate. If you just ignore the thought and just do what you gotta do, it's that simple. We get so caught up, so wound up in being attached to our bad habits. The habits aren't the problem. Our desire for them is. Notice how the thought, I want cake, is harmless. It's just an empty thought. But if that thought comes along with the desire to get a sugar rush, then it's a lot harder to get rid of. So it's now a two-pronged thing. We're discovering this together, as I talk about habits. Because I'm normal too. I have bad habits as well. But you just realize that all the bad habits are just thoughts popping up uncontrollably, which you don't have to respond to, and the desire to respond to the thought. The uncontrollable thoughts and the desire to respond to the uncontrollable thought, the desire to feel good, to get sugar. When those two operate together, appear together, you're stuck, you're trapped. Your desire to respond to this thought, to get cake, is so much stronger than your desire for enlightenment, meditation, whatever. That's another thing. If you can swap your desire for cake with your desire for, a beach bod, right? It's easier for you to get rid of that bad habit because your desire for the beach bod is stronger than your desire for the cake. So when the thought, I want cake, pops up, the desire to enjoy a sweet treat appears with it. You start to reach for that answer, start to say, oh, I will get the cake or I won't get the cake. But then right before you respond, you say, I want a beach ball. All of a sudden, that thought, your identification with someone who wants a beach ball, is stronger than your desire for cake. All of a sudden, the habit's not a problem anymore. Now you're just attached to having a beach ball, which is another bad habit, another attachment. All these habits and stuff are just words for attachments. When the Buddha said, get rid of your attachments, I don't know if he said get rid of them. What he did right before enlightenment was, he witnessed the attachments. He didn't push them away. He didn't fight the urge to eat cake. He didn't fight away the desire to have a beach bod. He noticed, as we're doing right now, he noticed the desire arise. And then he analyzed it. He tried to figure out what desire is, what attachment is. How do we get rid of it? Where is it coming from? Who has this desire? You know, you go through all these mental processes, these analyses, this self-inquiry, until you get to the point where you just see the thoughts for what they are as they appear. As the desire for cake, the thought, I want cake, appears, you see it as it is. You see it as just these empty words, these empty thoughts that come with desire, come with an urge for something. And when you see that, you see this whole process taking place. As it takes place, it has no hold on you anymore. Just like when you understand a math problem, you're not freaked out anymore. Or when you have a business plan, right? Let's say you're broke, you need money, all of a sudden you have this structured business plan. You know what you're doing. It's so much easier to get what you want. When you are aware of this present moment, aware of the thoughts, the desires, the urges, the habits, when you're aware of all of them appearing, then it's so much easier to just ignore them because they have no weight anymore. They're not as convincing. Your thoughts are just trying to convince you all the time to get something, to search for something, to pursue something, to get cake, to get a beach pod. Because your thoughts want a job, they want something to do. So they invent these bad habits, these attachments, these things you need to get, that you need to use thought to acquire, right? That's the trick. Thoughts will appear, give you this desire to bake a cake, and now you need to apply thoughts to bake that cake. You need to apply thoughts to lose the weight to get a beach bod. So now they're employed again. You just hired the thoughts again. But if you see that all they're doing is almost gaslighting you into believing you have a habit you need to give up, a habit you need to get rid of, something you need to change, something you need to gain, when you see them, when you see the thoughts, when you know them intimately, not just through watching this video, right? You know? But after this video ends, you sit with it. Maybe not immediately, but maybe tomorrow, a week from now. You just sit there and you just notice your bad habit. Notice how the thoughts keep trying to convince you to do something. What's aware of the thoughts? How do you know the thoughts are there? How do you know you have a bad habit? Wouldn't you say you're aware of it? That awareness, that thoughts, habits, all of it appears inside of. Because you know all these things about it. And you know them because you're aware of them. When you realize that you are this awareness, this knowing of the present moment, that the thoughts, desires, urges all appear within, they're not so scary anymore. They're just another part of you, a part of this present moment. Find out what it would take to have no bad habits. Oh my God, the giant bee is flying right now. Find out what it would take for you to have no bad habits. I would say the most important thing is to swap your desire for something harmful for something good. You know, I can sit here and say, okay, enlightenment is when there's no attachment, no desire. That's unrealistic to just tell you to jump straight there, you know? first swap your desire for cake or, I don't want to say other things, but swap your desire, your urge for bad stuff, for meditation, God, peace, just mental joy, freedom. If the biggest desire in your mind, if every thought immediately goes towards ending thoughts, being enlightened, meditating, ignoring the thoughts, if your desire for that, whatever that is the only thing you can think of, it is so much more powerful than your desire to get a beach bod or stop eating cake, then your habits have no pull anymore. The thought, oh, I should diet or I should eat cake appears. You don't even care. You just see it and you're like, oh, well, I want peace. I want meditation. I want enlightenment. I want freedom. I want God. Whatever it is to you. You just respond to every thought like that. Everything you do, every thought you have is for the sake of this just connection, reconnection to the present moment. The thoughts and the desire for these negative things just lose their hold. And when I use negative, I mean negative is only relative when you compare things. As long as you believe you are someone separate from life, there's a good and a bad, a habit, a thought, etc. Only when you get to that place of mind where there's no separation, no duality, no good and bad, because the one who says good and bad is seen to just be another appearance within this endlessly changing moment. When there's no comparison, then there's no habits, there's nothing to search for, there's no enlightenment to find. But until that realization occurs, make enlightenment your sole priority. So every thought you have, every attachment, you just direct it straight towards, oh, how will this help me find peace? How will this help me find enlightenment? And eventually you will.